All right, well, welcome everyone. My name is Todd Clenhans, and this is the Colorado Virtual and Augmented Reality Group for the 3rd of March. Appreciate everybody spending some time tonight. I've got a lot of links to show, and we can chat about some things. If anybody would like to present or has something to present or demo something like that, just feel free to get with me ahead of time. Maybe at the end, if somebody has something cool they want to show, I can share host controls, and we can take a look at maybe something you've been building on or would like to get some feedback on. We are obviously coming out of the pandemic, at least here in the States. A lot of controls and restrictions have been released and removed, and so we're still looking at finding an in-person venue to get back to meeting in person. Virtual reality is just one of those things that, it's really hard to do things remote on it. And it's like, you really need to jump in and, see something in real life with decent headset and connectivity and stuff like that. So the old place where we used to meet, DaVinci, they released their lease. They got out of it, so they're no longer there. So we're still looking for a venue. I've contacted a couple of people, and I need to send them another email and see what's what. So I've looked at CU Boulder. I've looked at a couple other venues, even looking at potential use of a public library. So just a quick survey of folks who are here. Does driving distance make a difference whether you would attend a meeting or not in person?
It depends on the season.
I live in New York City. So no.
Gotcha.
Yeah, within reason, I'd say. I mean, I'm right next to Steve's campus right now, so I wouldn't object to that. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think what we want to still try to do is provide a hybrid setup. Some of the other user groups that I help run, they're doing hybrid, where meaning they're still having Zoom and in person. So it does require a lot of juggling of plates to manage that, but it's doable. And especially with regards to the weather, if there's like a huge snowstorm out there, no one's going to want to drive across town to go see something. So doing a hybrid meeting, I think going forward, especially during the winter months, I think is going to be beneficial for a lot of folks. So I've already seen a couple different setups using wireless USB mics for the people that are on Zoom. It's what the microphone is for, but having the presenter has to stay really focused and not move around, staying in one spot to do the presentation and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think we'll get hybrid going here before too long, but I'm just itching to get back to in-person meetings. So I do have access to a venue in the DTC. Is that within reason for anybody? So I guess we'll just take a look at what's going to be available. Hopefully, like I said, I'll get back with these other folks that I pinged to see if they can open up the meeting spaces like we did in the past. Yeah, they're at CU Boulder, the Atom building, or what's the anyway, they used to have meetings there in that particular building, and I'll see if I can get back in contact with the folks who run that lab and see if they'll give us a meeting space. All right, so what I'll do is anybody else have any questions or comments before I jump into showing you guys a lot of neat, cool stuff? All right, so let me share my screen and we'll get started on this. I want to share screen too and share sound. So everybody can see my screen?
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, so if you haven't seen the news with regards to Meta, they've now completely rebranded a lot of the Oculus headsets. In fact, you're not even going to see the Oculus logo after certain updates happen in the not too distant future. So this is going to be, you know, like the end of Oculus, and it's like, man, you know, it's come this far, but you're going to start seeing this logo, and I've even seen some of the hardware already has the Meta logo on it. So yeah, the you know, long live Oculus. So just out of curiosity, how many of you have Oculus headsets?
I do.
Everybody? Looks like it.
Yeah, I have a bunch of headsets. I used to work in VR for a little while.
Okay. Yeah, because one of the things I want to do for the for next month's meeting, and I think we'll probably do this like maybe once a quarter, is to try to hold the meeting completely in a VR space, whether it's VRChat or Horizons or whatever. So I'm still trying to work out the logistics on that, but I like to be able to, you know, have it be inclusive where, you know, if everybody has a Quest headset, then that's easy enough to you know, to do. It's just when people have different headsets, sometimes the software doesn't permit multiple different kinds of pieces of hardware. All right. So this concept of a land grab is now really on people's hearts and minds, and I'll have all these links in the recording afterwards. So don't worry about having to, you know, copy these links or anything like that. But yeah, so this idea that, you know, there's this huge land grab that's about to occur in the metaverse, where people are looking at how do corporations monetize things. And so there's this idea of scarcity, and if people perceive scarcity, then that's going to increase the costs and the profits for some of these companies. The challenge, though, is that, you know, these are digital assets. So, you know, is there really a you know, true scarcity? So there's a lot of movement around trying to, you know, figure out how they're going to monetize it, but it's really a question of how do you convince people to jump into something without pummeling them with ads or, you know, other, you know, revenue generating systems. It is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I still don't like the idea of everybody trying to, you know, jump in and, you know, put down their stakes and, you know, just buy stuff just for the sake of having it, but not actually developing it. If any of you remember Second Life, or, you know, had a chance to play with that, I had a previous boss who he spent like $2,000, I think, getting an island in Second Life, and it was really, you know, pretty slick when it was all done. But, you know, after people played around on it for a little bit, it'd be like, okay, then it just dropped off and nobody, you know, went back there anymore. So I'm not exactly sure how metaverse companies, excuse me, are going to be making money, or how they're going to allow people to share assets, and how do you maintain ownership and copyrights and all of that. So I still think it's going to be a while before this really gets figured out. But this article is a really good read on things, and it's just mainly trying to figure out, okay, how do we not do what failed in the past, and how do we think out of the box and try to make something, you know, better than just trying to make a real world equivalent. So any questions or comments on that?
No, I agree. I'm not running out jumping to buy land. I have a buddy that wants to get land and become a landlord, but I tried to explain to him I don't really know how that's going to work in a blockchain driven world when you're supposed to be sort of owning things by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
So yeah, and I'm telling him I don't think it's worth going to jump into a sandbox, because as you said, something like Sandbox or Decentraland could be gone in a month. You know, they have so much money now, I don't see them disappearing, but there could be one that comes out and netscapes them all.
Yep. And as far as the digital assets go, it really does seem like the .usd format is going to be the one type of format that is going to be used for a lot of different things. So more to see on that. All right. So in end of February, they did have this thing called Gatherverse Summit. It does look like the recordings are still available. You have to log in with an email address, but this was really a lot of great speakers and sessions were presented. 70 sessions, 80 plus speakers. There was like 5,000 people, and they covered a lot of different topics. And you can look at the schedule and what was presented. And like I said, it looks like you can still look at the recordings. You just have to use an email address to log in, and then it'll give you a link to things. So if you ever wanted to, go see a lot more information that was presented about the metaverse, this looks like this is a really good summit that just occurred. All right, next up is going to be some interesting, fun stuff. This gentleman maintains a pretty cool blog post on the Ghost Howls. It's scaredghost.com. And I do follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of really cool articles that come out that he publishes. And obviously he does get, revenue links from affiliate marketing and all that jazz. But what I wanted to show here, and I have not installed this yet, but he does have a Unity app that does demonstrate path-through vision on the Quest, and you can watch the video and you can see how it works. But yeah, he's releasing it, and you can download and play with it. So that looks pretty cool. I mean, Passthrough is really a lot of fun, and I'll talk more about Passthrough a little bit later near the end. But yeah, you can this is just a side-loaded APK, just like anything else. So yeah, so he's got the download link on his Google Drive, so you can put that on and kick the tires and go see what's what. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet, but it's on my to-do list to go fiddle with Passthrough. So have any of you actually tried Passthrough on anything yet?
No.
Yeah, I just still have the Rift, so no opportunity yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a really cool technology. Like you saw on the screen, it's still not super crisp, but it does provide some really cool potential for interaction and being able to do things. They do say, it's almost silly that they even have to say it, but they say, don't have Passthrough on while you're driving. Don't wear this when you're operating heavy machinery and stuff like that. It's crazy they even have to mention that, but people will try anything, I guess. All right, next link up is Unreal Engine 5 is now in preview. I've downloaded this, and I also help lead the Unreal Engine group, and so this is of real interest to me. Some of my old projects, they seem to work just fine. I'm just taking advantage of looking at the new interface on it. So you can download this via the launcher. You don't have to go to a separate tab to download Unreal Engine 5 preview, but you just download it like any other engine inside of the launcher that you want to go play with. So I've been kicking the tires on it and taking a look at it, and I really like it. And it's going to be released to production sometime this year. People have been estimating could be as early as the summer, or might be in the fall. They say don't use it for production things right now, but by all means, if you're into Unreal Engine, kick the tires on 5. All right. So because of the restrictions that I found on YouTube looking at things, so I'm not going to play the audio on this, but what this gentleman has done is he's showed how to create a curved VR canvas using Unity on things. So it's really a pretty cool demo where he shows, he takes you through the steps of how to create it and what that actually looks like and what you can do with it. So if you're into playing with that and looking at something like that, by all means, take a look at the video and see what you can do with it. So yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Is the application of that more like artistic, or does it have some interesting gameplay effects?
So it's more of looking at making a better interface, because right now a lot of people just try to shoehorn the 2D world into 3D, but it's not really optimized for how things should work in a three-dimensional environment. So this is it's a good walkthrough of how to design good UI for it. Like I said, I haven't seen all the video, but just looking at different aspects of it, it does follow some good design guidelines to follow.
Oh, that's cool. Better UI is always appreciated.
Mm-hmm. You bet. So, all right. Next up, this is a review of Tilt 5, again by Scared Ghost. He does do an in-depth review on it, and he goes into the technology behind it. So it's really a cool setup. This is going to be coming out soon. It's mainly for desktop gameplay, being able to do things with friends. When this system comes out, this is on my short list of things I want to buy and go play with. But yeah, being able to do things augmented reality wise and looking at some novel applications of this is really pretty cool. People have been waiting for a long time for affordable augmented reality, and this is at the top of the list. I think it's still going to be about $500 or something like that. So, but when it does come out, it should be coming out fairly soon, and it'll be a lot of fun to play with that with friends and be able to do things that you just can't do. So it's going to be a lot of neat, fun games to play with that. All right.
What is that called again?
Tilt 5.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's other augmented reality systems that are out there, but this is the leading one that people are getting excited about, and probably is going to be the first one to really be commercially successful as far as an augmented reality setup.
Have you ever heard of whatever happened to Magic Leap?
It's still around. There's a Magic Leap 2 that is available now, but they've mainly scaled back a lot of their plans, and they're mainly just focusing on enterprise only customers. But yeah, it's still around. I haven't played with it myself, but I do know some folks who do have access to it. But they're, like I said, it's mainly aimed for enterprise use, and it's not geared for consumers anymore. At least that's the current marketing that they're putting out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used it a long time ago when it first came out, and then I haven't seen it since.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. And speaking of another pass-through application is GravityLab, where you can, again, this is another demo showing it, black and white background, but it does show a lot of neat, cool things that you can play with it. And this is available now on the Oculus store. So if you want to go buy this, I think it's like $15. That definitely looks within my wheelhouse of being able to do some things. And you can do, as the video is showing, you're using whatever space you happen to be in, and you can, play around with it. Again, it's, black and white, looking through the system, but it is fun to, rig things up. So this is a game where you're, designing just like the name implies, GravityLab, where you're like, creating some of these Rube Goldberg type of contraptions and trying to, just have some fun using the capabilities. But it's neat that they've added pass-through on that now. And like I said, it is available on the Oculus Quest, on the Oculus store. I guess I got to rebrand that to the Meta store. I don't know. I just really gonna miss the word Oculus, I guess. All right, so in terms of employment, or looking at what people are hiring for, there is a lot of careers that are out there now that just didn't exist a few years ago. VRChat is currently hiring. They do have a lot of open positions that they're looking to fill. So it's good to see a lot of companies that are hiring to do a lot more VR related stuff. Like I said, they've got several positions open now. Same thing with Meta, if you want to call them the evil empire. Looks like we got some other folks to join, so let me get them in here. Hello, hope you weren't waiting too long.
Hello.
How have you been?
Are you talking to me? Sorry, I feel like I'm late. I just got here. I've been really, really good. How have you been?
Oh, not too bad. Just trying to stay out of the constant news cycles, I guess. That's why why virtual reality exists, is so we can, escape reality for a little bit and do something constructive.
Absolutely.
So going through other links, mentioned that VRChat is hiring. So is Meta. Some people, love Meta, hate Meta, but they do have a lot of positions that are open, and this particular tweet thread is how they announced it. So you can look at all the different positions that they have open, and a lot of them have a lot to do with VR and just trying to really expand how they're designing and building things. And again, anytime a company is advertising lots of jobs, that's they're spending money like crazy on things. So yeah, VRChat and Meta is currently hiring. All right. One of the things that is hard to do is, the problem with the Oculus store is that you have to have your headset on to go browse it. And wouldn't it be great if somebody made a website where you could actually search for different types of things instead of having to try to look through it on your headset. So they have come up with this this website. This is the first time I've heard about it. I just discovered this myself. So this has a list of over almost 1,200 applications. And so people do rate these. So if you want to go browse and look at different types of applications that are available for Quest, by all means, this looks like a pretty good site. And like I said, I just discovered this the other day. So yeah, and a lot of these are tags, games that you're familiar with. Obviously they show the popular selling ones at the very top, but if you just want to look at some cool demos and things like that, and a lot of the some of these are free, and they do have paid versions available. So if you just want to go see what's out there, this is an easy way to go look for it. Yes, so check out the VR Heaven IO website. So I don't know if you guys saw the news that Steamdeck is now shipping. It is a pretty cool system, but I've seen some mixed reviews on it. Some people they really love it. Some others are like, it's not ready for prime time type of thing. But what was amazing is that Gabe Newell himself was hand delivering some of these Steam Decks. I mean, that's pretty neat to have the founder of a company hand signed and hand deliver some of these things. They had like a film crew following him around, and some people didn't know who he was. They just thought he was some delivery guy. But yeah, that's pretty cool that the the founder of the company is able to hand deliver some products like that. So that was pretty cool.
I couldn't imagine Gabe Newell showing up at my door.
I'd have a heart attack. And like I said, on the review itself of the system, it looks like it's still a bit of a mixed thing. I mean, it is a Linux computer running a Windows emulator is really what this thing is powered by. So I don't know if I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to get one. I like to play with one at some point and just kind of make up my own mind. But it is a pretty cool device, and it can play lots and lots of different games. And so instead of putting a lot of PC-based games on your desktop and having to deal with games interfering with other games, it'd be nice to be able to have something you can just jump into and play with. So I'll be curious to get my hands on one of these and see what's what. It is a really neat form factor, and the visual screen on it is reasonable to play lots of different games on it. So maybe it's just the first version that has come out, might be a little bit buggy, but it's got some pretty cool specs for a handheld device to be able to do things. It is 1.5 pounds. So I was going to show that some people have done this. I haven't done it, but if you remember, some folks still have the Nintendo Switch, and the Switch can support virtual reality, but the Switch is a far lighter handheld computer. So I don't foresee using a Steamdeck as a VR headset, even though it does have some of the capabilities to support it. I don't know, but 1.5 pounds, that's kind of heavy. So you'd have to have it counterbalanced and maybe a different headset altogether. But it has the power to do VR. I mean, I remember when I was doing Gear VR development on my Samsung S6 phone, and I thought, how could you do virtual reality on a smartphone? And it works. So you just need to have a decent screen and power to do it. So who knows if Steam Deck will be kind of like the Switch VR. I guess we'll see. So any questions or comments on that? All right, next up is going to be Hewlett Packard is jumping into the fray with regards to enterprise management. So they're looking to help sell software for managing large-scale virtual reality deployments. I do use one of these companies. So it's a mobile device management. I do use Manage XR. It's pretty cool software. You do have to set your Quest headset into developer mode, and then you can remotely deploy applications to it. But they do mention some of these other companies that do it. So it's interesting that HP is now getting into the managing virtual reality devices, especially in that enterprise capacity, because you always could call HP for support and things like that. Whether they're going to support the Quest, because it would almost be like a competitor to what Oculus for Business used to be. They've pulled it, and they're going to re-release it in about a year, I think is what I read. But yeah, it's good that there's choices to have when looking at these different vendors, so you're not just locked into one. You can, if you like how one works, then it's great. Otherwise, you can switch and go try somebody else. So I just thought that was an interesting announcement that HP is jumping into that. All right, coming up in March on the 21st, NVIDIA has their annual GTC conference. So this is going to be running from March 21st through the 24th. This is a free conference, so you can always download their presentations and you can watch things at your leisure. It's always interesting to see what NVIDIA comes up with because they have been pushing the envelope on a lot of different things. They're also one of the companies that is really pushing hard on the .usd file format. And I have been playing with their Omniverse software. It can do lots of neat, cool things. So by all means, since it's free, take advantage of it. But so this conference is coming up in just a few weeks. So if anything, don't miss the keynote. The keynotes are always pretty slick and always give a good insight into what NVIDIA is doing and what they're looking at. All right. On to a piece of news from the hardware. You may or may not have seen the news, but the PSVR2 has now been revealed. It's pretty cool headset. It does have inside out tracking. I do like the controllers. They look like they're going to be able to last a long time. The only thing though is that it's still wired. So if there are plans to make it wireless, they haven't mentioned it because that was something people have been asking for. Is can you make a wireless PSVR system? So it's got some cool specs on it. They said it's going to be I think they said coming out for potentially before Christmas is what I read, if I remember that right. But yeah, anyway, so PSVR 2 is here. And once it is in people's hands, I think it'll be a nice, fun system to play with. You do need to have the 5 setup on it, the PS5 console. So that is a very powerful console. Am I going to get one of these things? I'm not sure. It looks like a cool system, and it would obviously be a lot smaller than dealing with a desktop VR setup. So yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. We've had other people in the group bring their PSVRs, and they're still a lot of fun. So another gentleman had a review of this still by Scared Ghost on things where he talks about not only the PSVR 2, but he also has some really good insights on some other news items. Talking about Meta and some AI stuff. He does go into Valve, and he does talk about, you asked earlier about the Magic Leap 2. So he's got some news a little bit on that. So there's going to be more headsets coming out, and I'll show the link on that later. But yeah, it's good to see that there's more competition coming up, because that's going to drive innovation. All right. So if you are in the market, or if you know someone who is in the market, they do have refurbished headsets available now that are certified by Oculus. So these are refurbished Quest 2s. They probably were returns from the holidays, or whatever like that. So if you know someone in the market and want to save a little bit of money, you can buy these off of Amazon, and these are refurbished with factory warranties, straight from Oculus. And they do have the 128 and the 256 models. So yeah, decent pricing for it. I already have 2 Quest 2, so I don't need a third one at the moment. But if that's in your future to want to get one, might take advantage of this and save a little bit of money. And they do have a 30-day return policy and a 6-month warranty on it.
Nice. Yeah, my sister, she's an artist. She likes to do sculpting, and I've been wanting to get her a Quest 2 for so she could play around with some of those apps. So this will be a good deal.
Yeah, anything to get more and more people into playing with VR and being able to do things that, like you said, will get people excited by it, and spending time showing what they can do with it. All right, so this was a brand new headset that was just released. So they originally started off with a Kickstarter program, and this is a pretty expensive headset. So it is, it's called the Simula One, and so these are the prices on it. This is the MSRP recommended. So it's not a cheap headset by any means, but it does look like it is extremely capable of being able to do a lot of things. I mean, the resolution on this 2448 pixels per eye, that's not that bad. The field of view is 100 degrees, which is pretty good. It does have a IPD adjustable setup. You can see the different type of ports that are on it, but yeah, take a look at this. I mean, this is an i7 Intel Core powered system, so it's no slouch, and and the price does reflect that. So if is this going to be the new high-end system for people to play with? Could be, but it is a little bit out of my price range for things. But for enterprise who has the budget for something like that, there might be a compelling case to look at it. So that's the Simula Simula One VR headset. This is another website that I like going to, and again, the Simula is listed on here now. So you can look at a little bit more specs on it and stuff like that. But yeah, this website, VR Compare, you can see what new headsets are coming out, and you can compare and contrast different ones, and also look at not just virtual reality but also augmented reality headsets that are in the queue. So I've watched this website over time, and it is neat to see more and more headsets coming out, virtual reality and augmented as well. So yeah, if you want to compare and contrast some things, this is the site to do it. All right, then the last thing I wanted to just mention tonight is I've been playing with OpenBrush for a bit, and they have announced that they have Passthrough is going to be enabled on the next version of OpenBrush. So this is a drawing program. It's essentially the open sourced version of Tilt Brush, but it's been repackaged, and it has a lot more new features in it. I've been playing with OpenBrush for a while, and I really like it. What's going to be fascinating about this pass-through capability is, imagine being able to go to like an art gallery and be able to look at something and then try to sketch it yourself on things. So that could be a cool thing for some museums, is to allow people to draw on something like this. So I'm just interested to see how that's going to work out. One of the other really neat features that I like about OpenBrush is, and I discovered this by accident, is in the settings that you can go into, you can go to a website that will launch a web browser on your Quest headset. And this website shows a bunch of neat, cool demos. And what you do is you can click on these links, and it'll queue things up, and then you'll switch back into OpenBrush, and then it will sketch things out. So you can create like a lot of geometry quickly with this tool. So they show all of the The API does go into a lot of math and science on geometry and all that kind of good fun stuff, but it's a pretty slick way that they've architected it. And what's great for me that I like is it also saves it as you can export it out as a GTL format, and then you can pull it into Blender and then export it out as a .fbx. So things you create in OpenBrush, you can then pull into a game engine to do other things with it. So that's kind of fun. It's neat to be able to create something like that and then move things around. And again, on the video for the Zoom recording, I'll have these notes and some additional information on it. So does anybody else have something they wanted to share or chat about with regards to what they've been playing with in VR, or have something they want to show? So I know it's a fairly small crowd today, but I think as things start to warm up a bit, I think we'll get a lot more folks coming, especially when we can get back to doing things in person. So that's really pretty much all I had tonight. So does anybody have anything else they wanted to chat about? Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and wrap things up.
No, I'm good, but I appreciate everything you guys are doing. It's been really cool watching all these lately.
You're welcome.
You know, hopefully, now that I see that, which I remember you saying this last time, but maybe being able to show stuff soon, that'd be a nice thing to work up to.
Great. Yeah, just hit me up a little bit ahead of time, just kind of walk through things, and yeah, anything to get constructive feedback on something you might be working on is always beneficial.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop my sharing. So and I'll stop recording.